Earlier this week, Raytheon CEO Greg Hayes shared that the aerospace and defense contractor had lost some $75 million in sales as a result of the U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Now, if that number seems small to you, it's because it is. As executive director of Win Without War, Stephen Miles wrote on Twitter, for context, Raytheon reported sales of $16.4 billion for just the quarter. The death and war business is doing just fine, even with one fewer battlefield. The nearly $800 billion Pentagon spending bill approved by Congress last month still constitutes an increase in year-over-year defense funding, despite the withdrawal, which, listen, a lot of the war money went towards this new sort of over-the-horizon style warfare that we're moving to that is more high-tech and probably more expensive. And so, yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable that they're only losing $75 million when we shut down a war.
Yeah,
it should have been way more than
America's
that.
longest war. We should absolutely decrease the funding, the budget. We're winding. We should wind down these wars. We should not be spending this money like this. So it's very telling that we're still involved in so many places, and so, like you said, it costs more money now, but it's shameful.
Right, and we kept being told that we're spending $300 million a day occupying Afghanistan. We're no longer occupying Afghanistan. Where is that $300 million a day? That should be adding up quite quickly. Instead, what this system does is it finds new ways to send it to the same people who were getting it before.
Yeah, we'd have to look at all of the different defense contractors to find out collectively how much was lost. This is just Raytheon, but nonetheless, I'm sure they're going to be figuring out a way to gain this money back, considering that we're sort of starting to point the finger more at China. You have Anthony Blinken out there kind of war posturing against China regarding Taiwan right now. We're hearing a lot of that. We've, of course, got the aliens, and Space Force that they're talking about now. There's a lot of places where they're going to be trying to and the Russians, we were talking about this, how with Havana syndrome, they're saying, the Russians are attacking us or spying on us. And so it seems like they're going to figure out new places to put all this money, which is why the defense spending is increasing year after year. It's not going down even after shutting down a war.
Yeah, I mean, it's rare, right? It happens, I guess, occasionally, but it's rare to decrease funding to any government agency for any reason, regardless of the changing conditions. Sometimes you get they don't get as much of an increase as they wanted. They get a cut in the percentage increase, but that's still a strict increase in terms.
The only exception being the IRS.
Right, as we talked about, the IRS did. This is one of the things where we all agree, all three of us. We want, we want definitely less spending for killing people in other countries.
Yes, and move the funding over to the IRS.
Right. I would move the funding nowhere else. Just defund it all, because I don't think the government does any better job at anything else than it does at killing people.
Well, I'd like to move it to, if I'm going to vote on something, since we're all saying where we want to move it, I would like to move it towards paying off student college loans, getting the college loan debt. If we could just go ahead and eradicate that and allow people to live in the middle class, being able to buy homes and whatnot. I know, Robby, I heard that groan, Robby. I heard that.
And the funny thing about this, and maybe Robby would be okay with this instead, on student loan debt, all you have to do is flick a switch. You don't actually need anybody's money to deal with that. The money is owed to the federal government. The federal government can be like, you know what? Because it's been paused for, a year and a half now? And the sky didn't fall. Right. The economy, in fact, is booming.
Right.
And it's booming so much, it's breaking the global supply chain. On top of a pandemic, might have something to do with it as well. And so all you'd have to do is say, you know what, we're not going to undo the pause. The pause is staying forever. You don't actually need then to go out and kind of rattle a bucket and get pennies to pay that off. That's it. It's done.
Well, so then we're going to have to find new places to put all this.
I'm not for that. Well, a one-time, without fixing any of the underlying cost problems associated with, but then the next crop of college students take out those loans, and you have to do that forgiveness again later, and it doesn't make any sense.
Just try to solve the problem too, but in the meantime, wipe it
out.
Yeah.
Now, in the meantime, wipe out the Defense Department budget and just write checks back to everyone. Every American gets a check for I don't know, whatever it is divided
Works
among.
for me.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We'll have more Rising right after this.